Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000, the rest of you elect out there. Shalom to you all. Okay, this is going to be an easy video to do. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video from the comment section. Can you explain hell? This is the whole comment. Can you please elaborate as to how there is no hell? Well, you know what? That'll be the title. That's less than 100 letters. From the comment board, can you please elaborate as to how there is no hell when several scriptures point out its existence? Just curious. So I replied, I will do a video on the subject. Should have said on that subject. So as soon as I got as you can see, this was 7 hours ago, and I just put this up immediately after I saw the saw this comment. And this is the new trend among these reprobate Israelite groups. Number one on the list would have to be the IUIC because they're a major group. ISUPK doesn't, as from what I understand, they don't teach the hell doctrine. Who else? Somebody else started teaching it. There's certain guys that are teaching this clown, a friend of Yahweh Shai. His name should be the enemy of Yahweh Shai. He now teaches that there's an actual place called hell. And the scripture said you're going to have false messiahs and false prophets, to deceive many. And if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. So I'm going to just go right into it. And if you go to my page, and you go to the search engine, you put in hell. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me go ahead and do that. People always ask a question. Could you do a video when we already did the video? We might have did the video 10 times inside of 10 years. Okay, let me do this. Let me go to let me just go to my page here. Okay, let me type in the word hell. Okay, so I typed in the word hell. This put it 3 months ago. Hell is a RCC, Roman Catholic Church doctrine, not an Israelite doctrine. And you see this guy wearing the purple. He's IUIC member, which now they teach that there's hell, which I don't know where he got that from, but Bishop Nathaniel and the other bishops, the bishops, because they go back to the One West days, House of David days. That was never taught. You had Yeshaya and Kazak, but mainly Yeshaya. He would bring it up every 3 years and get cut on it. That's why he's not in his truth no more. He's not in the circle no more. So we may even listen to a little bit of this here and there. Okay, so this is 11 months ago. Another One West camp says the lake of fire is eternal hell. IUIC versus another church my commentary. Acts 2 verse 27, hell and other topics. Five precepts on the word torment. Answer these hell questions. The IUIC uses hell as a scare tactic to get more members in there so they can get more money, so they can jet set. So see, like I said, you ask a question, there's videos on it. There's several videos. Not just videos that I put up, but other members of the GMS. Re-upload. Do Hebrew Israelites believe in hell? Sakari, varsity classes. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to click on this since it's short, 47 seconds.
Psalms 49 and 14. Remember, they tell you're burning alive there. Remember? They say you're burning alive down there. Psalms 49 and 14. Like sheep they are laid in the grave. That's Sheol. Death shall feed on them. Oh, you're going to decay. And the upright shall have dominion over them in the morning. And their beauty, the beauty of your body, shall consume in the grave from their dwelling. You're going to decay in Sheol. You are not alive, burning alive for eternity and yelling and screaming in the Old Testament concept of Hades, hell.
Okay, that was Deacon Hakar of the Sakari. Yeah, I see this picture, this right here, and this guy's took, it's a sinister. He has a sinister look on his face, with the hands and the way the hands are positioned and the gold piece in the middle. And this guy just recently started using the term Black Hebrew Israelites, which is a government term for us. So we don't know what's going on behind the scenes with this individual. By the way, this is Bishop Nate, and he now teaches that hell is an actual place, which he didn't get from One West. Okay, so let me see, what am I gonna do? You know what, let me do this. Oh, I'm sorry, let me come on back. So you can watch, so like I said, the individual that asked that question, if you just go to the home, go to the home page and then type in hell and you get all these videos. Matter of fact, let me come right over here. Let me see what this is all about. Because anytime that was brought up by a high... Okay, so this is one of the zombies of IUIC. IUIC false teaching on loved ones burning forever and unbelieving wives. Priest Yeshaya was cut down. That's why so-called High Priest Yeshaya is no longer, he's not doing the work anymore. And he's not going to make it. Because he turned his back on the plow. Isaiah 30 and 20 said, you will see your teachers. All right? And the same goes for Gazak and Lahab and the rest of them. Some of them are in the spiritual realm. Marsha's in the spiritual realm. Yaikwab's in the spiritual realm. And they went to the Marsha went to the spiritual realm 1990, and I saw him a couple of days before he even passed. I saw him on a Thursday. He died on, I believe it was a Saturday night. A couple of days after I saw him. And Yaikwab had died at about 6 months to a year after the split. So we're talking somewhere in between 96 and 97. So they both went into the spiritual realm. They both became ancestors as Kemetic people, whatever the hell that means. They're in the spiritual realm. So you got High Priest Ariab, which he's pretty much retired. He really ain't doing nothing. He's not. I don't think I don't know what he does, but he's up in age. And High Priest Shaw, he's up in age too. So what's happening at that the ICGJC? It's not even popular no more. They're trying to. Basically, it's a Roman Catholic setup. They're teaching that thing about hell.
And by the way, all these American Christianity and world Christianity, they all teach what their mother religion teaches, that there's an actual hell that you burn in, which is not the case. And for any former One West member that teaches it, I mean, I don't even know what to say. They either took a bag or a couple of bags, or they just, reprobate. The Most High close their eyes.
Anyway, here's more information. What I did was you have music playing in the background. So what I'm going to do is mute this and just read it. Here it goes. Hey, Shalom, Israel, Most High, Christ bless.
Yeah, I call these guys that Yabba Dabba Do Israelites.
If I was familiar with the different Israelite groups and I said, I'm going to go with the IUIC, they got 3,000 men marching, they all in unison, they're in order, and I hear Christ, I'm like, wait a minute, ain't we Hebrew Israelites? Most High, Christ bless. Walk in the spirit of burn, or it should say, or burn forever. Right. You can't go to, you not able to go to these feasts or whole rank because you got somebody at the house that doesn't believe your, let me bring that back. This is complete madness. To these feasts, you can't go to these feasts or whole rank because you got somebody at the house that don't believe.
Okay, so now if you're part of, now this is coming from the zombie's mouth, IUIC zombie, and he's regurgitating what he learned from the Bishop Nathaniel, the bishop. So you can see what he's saying. If you can't hold rank, you can't come. Let me bring it back. It says, okay, they don't believe your house is not in order.
Right. That doesn't believe your. Let me bring that back. This is complete madness. To these feasts, you can't go to these feasts or whole rank because you got somebody at the house that don't believe. So is he saying, and I want you to hear him say it. I'm not going to play it because there's music in the background. And this is a fair use anyway. So he's saying, look, if you're a man and IUIC, you got a woman, she's got to believe, and your children got to believe.
If she don't believe, which makes your wife a hypocrite, because if she doesn't believe it and she says I'm an Israelite just to appease you, she's being a hypocrite. She doesn't really believe anyway. And if y'all go your separate ways and she meets a cat that's Islamic, she's going to become Islamic, or she's going to go back to being a Christian. So that's, hypocrisy. And so this guy's saying that you can't have rank, you can't go to the feast, because we told you, and I think they put it to a year, but it used to be 6 months. You got 6 months. Hey, brother, do you have a wife? Yes. Well, I never see her at the school. Yeah, because she's a Baptist. Well, brother, if she's an unbeliever, you got to cut her off. You got to give her an ultimatum. And they have a happy marriage. They have the young couple. Maybe she might be pregnant with a child, and maybe have a toddler. Maybe have like a 2-year-old. Happy, they love each other. And this guy, they bewitch him into thinking that your wife is the devil, this, that, and the third, and you got to give her an ultimatum. And if you give her 6 months, it used to be 6 months, you got to cut her off. And this goes back to after the split, when they kicked us out, they kept changing the doctrine around. And one of the doctrines that they came up with, if you don't have a believing wife, you got to cut her off. And everybody cut their wives off except Bishop Nathaniel. And this is what Bishop Nathaniel told me. So he was telling me about the madness that he was a part of. The straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, is when they said, "Oh, we can't keep." They went, now they go, keep the laws. Now back then they said, "Don't keep the laws." And you got to prove not to keep the laws by eating pork in front of us. 14 guys left. Whether it was on a Friday, that weekend, the Monday, the guys would come, and he noticed that 14 guys did not come back. And then he said he realized that he was going off. Well, you're going to realize that you're going off on a lot of things. And the Most High demands perfection. When you teach this word, you can't you can't call yourself an auto mechanic if you don't know everything about a car. Because what you're gonna do, you're gonna say, "Well, I can fix that," and you're gonna wing it, and the guy's gonna get into a car accident or something, and you get enough people, they're gonna sue your ass, and you're gonna be out of business. There's a mechanic, there's a mechanic apprentice, there's you have a jack of all trades, a master of none. You got to master this. Knowing the scripture, you got to eat this roll, and then go out and teach the house of Israel. That means digest it. You got to know every aspect of the scriptures. So when somebody asks you about hell, you ain't supposed to tell them there's an actual place called hell you're going to burn forever, which is not in the scriptures. There's nowhere in the scriptures where it said. There's a parable in Luke 16, if I'm not mistaken. Luke 16 or 14, I believe it's Luke 16. Luke 16. The rich man in Lazarus talking about hell. No, that's a parable. That means a condition. The poor man Lazarus that you didn't, help, he's going to be on top and you're going to be on the bottom. It's just in parable form. So, and like I said, I don't know if this came from Bishop Nate's twisted demonic mind, or he got a bag to teach this. You got to cut her off. Please show me the scripture where it says that. I can show you scriptures where it says the opposite. Apostle Paul said if you have an unbelieving woman. Peter says concerning women, if you have an unbelieving husband. It says that don't believe your house is not in order. Well, you're in order. Because you're gonna have unbelievers in this thing that you come into this truth. You believe and your wife doesn't believe. Read 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Read the whole chapter. It says if you have a unbelieving wife or an unbelieving husband, and they be pleased to dwell with you, dealing with the wife part, then dwell with them. Else will your children be a part of that. Because if there's a split and she goes her way, there's no chance of getting your children to understand the truth when she left out of your life. So you caused a split, you know, in the family structure right there. And that's out of order. And another thing you do, you got with her, you lay with her, you had children with her. She does everything you're supposed to do. She's in order as far as the household is concerned. She doesn't believe. You have a couple of children. Maybe you have a 3-year-old. Maybe you got one on the way. Maybe you got a 2-year-old or something. And everything's good. You come to the truth. They tell you, oh, brother, by the way, do you have a woman? Yeah. I never see her come to the school. Well, she doesn't believe her father's a preacher, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know you got to give an ultimatum. And if I'm going off, IUIC tell me I'm going off, they're not going to say nothing because they know what they're doing. But if they say, look, we don't do that. If you have an unbelief, I will apologize, okay? The Most High set us up to be defenders of the gospel. And I won't be apologizing. That's a fact. Apologia. So you said, oh, well, you got 6 months to get your act together and start teaching that, understand that you're an Israelite, keep Sabbath and so forth. And she'll say, well, what would happen if I don't believe? Well, I'm going to have to cut you off. 6 months come around, I'm cutting you off according to the order of the leadership, which causes her to, move on with her life and commits adultery. She becomes an adulterer. So she's like, what are you doing? Why you can't? We got children together. What happened? You're in a cult. Then she gets mad. She says, let's go to counseling. He don't want to go to counseling. So she leaves. She's all messed up for maybe 6 months to a year. And then she finds some other man. And so guess what happened? You caused her to commit adultery. Also, adultery is a heinous crime, a crime that's punishable by death. Now, you might meet a sister in there that's a believer who had a husband that was a Muslim, and she had the ultimatum, give him the ultimatum, 6 months. She leaves him. Now, this dude might kill the woman. Might be with them old, like Richard Pryor said, a double Muslim. A double Muslim can't wait to get to Allah. So he might be one of them prison Muslims, man. He'll kill you, bitch, you ain't going nowhere. Allah gave you to me. Stab that bitch up. And it's all on the news. IUIC's involved. The mosque is involved. But let's say you go. You're going to find a brother in the IUIC, and that brother have committed adultery because that man is still living. So he's saying your house is out of order, but the IUIC's house is out of order because they're telling men and women not to deal with their spouses if they don't believe. And that's a form of hypocrisy. Because you can't fake it. You can't act like you believe and really don't believe. That's what they're doing. They say, well, I love my husband. I'm going to act like I'm an Israelite. No, you can't act like you're an Israelite. You got to know that you're an Israelite. Let's listen to some more. Or vice versa. You can't be considered a single sister if you married, you got a husband at home. that don't believe in the truth, that won't follow this, but the love of many, it says wax cold. So they're saying if she just doesn't believe, she can't see it, or she can't see it yet. And then, it also says in Peter and in Corinthians 7, 1 Corinthians 7, it says, who knows, O man, whether you save your wife? Who knows, O wife, whether you save your husband? So this is clearly not scriptural. And they're clearly, I'm going to get into the hell doctrine. Just hold on tight. Taking away and adding to the scriptures in violation of, and that's what the IUIC specializes in, taking away and adding to the scriptures. Take away from the scriptures, you shall be taken from the book of life. Deuteronomy 4:2, Proverbs 30, I believe that's the 5th verse, and Revelation 22, 18 and 19, which pursuant to Revelation 22, 18 and 19, it says in the 19th verse, if you take away, 18, 19 verse, if you take away from the book, your name will be taken away out of the book of life. Any name that's taken away out of the book of life will be cast into the lake of fire. So if you believe that there's an actual hell, then you're going to go, the whole IUIC is going to hell. Because they're taken from the book. They're taken from the book because they're not following the scriptures. They're not like the Church of Berea. And at some point, you got to give in. See, I'm telling you, some people just so stuck on somebody in the world leadership just been going. Let me read this here. Matthew 19 verse, the key point is in the 9th verse. I'll go right to the point. 19th verse. 9th verse. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication. What is the word fornication? These clown-ass Christians will say fornication is sex before marriage. No, fornication is adultery. And shall marry another, committeth fornication. If she moves on with her life and marries another man, she committed the fornication because the man that she got with is still alive. But he's committing a crime by pushing her away. It said the only reason you have to, cast your wife out, divorce your wife, is for adultery. And shall marry another, committeth a fornication. So she gets with the other man. That new man that she gets is committing the act of fornication. She's committing the act of fornication. And whoso marrieth her, which is put away, she's put away, doeth commit adultery. It says a fornication here, it means adultery. So let's pull these words out. I'll pull out the word fornication and pull out the word adultery. We're going to get into the hell doctrine. The Spirit is just leading me somewhere else. So just based upon this doctrine, that the part of the doctrine in IUIC, just based on this showing you that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not dealing with them. Fornication, porneia. the word there, you see all these different words. The word, the meaning is adultery. Fornication means adultery. Now let's go to the word adultery. Back to the basics. To have unlawful intercourse with another's wife, to commit adultery with. And the word here is
Strong's G 3429. Moichao. Moichao.
Greek Greek mahio. Look, wait a minute. Strong's G 3429 in the following manner: commit adultery. So the word fornication in Matthew 19 is adultery. The word adultery is adultery. That's what it means. So now let's come on back. So that's the only way you can cut. You can't cut your wife off because she doesn't want to believe, except the fact that she's an Israelite. So just based upon that, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is not dealing with the IUIC. Just on that. Going over this recently. So they're indoctrinating you. First of all, if I went to the truth and I didn't have my woman didn't come, and they said, where's do you have a woman? I said, no. They said, well, where's your, I said, I don't have no woman. Right? Or I would say it's none of your goddamn business. That's cultish activity. Hey, if I came to an organization, they asking me about my woman, what I said, man, it's not your motherfucking business, nigga. All right? And when I first came in the school, they couldn't tell me nothing about what I do with my woman. You get fucked up. There's a lot of bullshit going on in One West too. Any of you brothers or you men that's in the GMS, have I ever asked you, inquired about your wife? Well, what's your wife's name, brother? She should come around. We don't have a passport. Bring your wives. Nah, I don't care how. I don't care if you have 5 wives, 10 wives, 1,000 wives. I don't care if you have one wife. Whether she's an unbeliever or not. That's none of my concern, man. Been going over, and I want you to watch this. Yeah, that's betwixt you and your wife. This video, and put the sound on. Been going over this recently for the past bishop. And take a good look at this guy. This guy is definitely a cult member. He's definitely zombified. If I made up a new word, zombified. This, you can see that this guy's zombified. Daniel, specifically, been going over like the wicked in the world. Yes, whether if you wicked. You know what? Let me say this. I'm gonna get into the subject of hell. You're just gonna have patience, or if not, just move on. All right. You had the Yahweh ben Yahweh people, right, in Florida, based in Florida, and they came to the school. They came when I first came in. They came to the school. They were big, all over the place. Like in the early to mid '80s, they wore the white robes, no fringes, and they were out there like the Ansar Allah community Muslims, which they're no more. They used to be all over the place, selling you all kind of books, with nothing but nonsense in it. That's why niggas are so confused. But the Yahweh ben Yahweh, the head guy, he amassed a lot of real estate. He was a multi-millionaire. But you know what made him fall was he was telling you, in order to be a part of this group, you gotta kill a white man. You gotta prove the proof is proof of death is you gotta cut the ears off so they see the ears. Okay, you remember. And they had this one guy. He played. I forget his name. Somebody help me out. He played for the NFL, and he was a member of it. And he went out and killing people at the orders of Yahweh Ben Yahweh. This guy was actually killing, and he confessed. He went before the court. He said, "Yes, I killed people because Yahweh Ben Yahweh told me to kill people." See, that's when you have no mind. You have no mind. You know. You got this guy, Pastor Dowell. What the hell did he do? Outside of the adultery thing. I mean, if he did that, that means everybody can commit adultery. You can commit adultery. If he brings you to counsel, you say, well, wait a minute, you in the act of adultery. You know? Oh, the reason why I mentioned Pastor Dowell, you know, he got a lot of former NFL players. So these are big guys. These are big dudes, you know? Yeah, speaking of the NFL, I was watching, what was his name? Was it Bubba Smith? This was so far back. He played on that comedy movie series of Cops. Was that Bubba Smith? Give me a second. Let me go check. Hey, look, the goal went up to 2,400, dropped back down, and then it came right back up. You know. Anyway, this is another subject. Okay, let me see here. Bubba Smith played for the NFL. And that's him when he was real young.
According to National Football Foundation, Smith was the Baltimore Colts' first draft choice and made All-Pro. He also played for Oakland and Houston in a 10-year pro career. In the 1980s, Bubba blossomed as an actor in movies and TV, notably in Police Academy and Blue Thunder.
Yep. And that's a big dude. That's a big dude, man. Anyway, in this one video, I forget where the video, I didn't, you know. He was, I think it was the big game. They were playing were they playing the Giants? Either the Giants or the Jets, and they just knew that they were going to win, and they didn't. And he said that the game was rigged. He basically came out and said that football they rigged games, and he said this. You know, this is back in the 80s. You know, but let me see how big this brother is. Yeah, give me the stats. How big is he? He's a big brother. He's a big brother. Bubba Smith, a Texas native. Smith was the first overall pick in the 1967 NFL draft. Wow. Okay, let's look at some of these stats here. Okay, what do you give me here? What's his height, man? Anyway. Bubba Smith was just different. Right, sacks versus Notre Dame. That's when he was playing college ball. Yeah, he was. That dude was a monster. A monster, as Mike Tyson would say. That guy's a monster. He's a monster.
I'm trying to get. It's not important. It's not important. But anyway, let's come on back over here. Okay, let's go back on the zombie
husband. So if you just don't believe, you don't see it, or you don't see it yet, you're wicked. You're deemed as wicked. This is a cult. Some point you got to let them go, which is clearly not in the scriptures. I've specifically been going over like the wicked. So if you don't believe, or you don't believe yet, you're a demon in the world. Yes. What if your wicked husband, your wicked wife, some point you got to let them go if they ain't for the truth? You doing all kind of wickedness. The Bible says that's death. That's death. And it's not normal death. Now he's going to get into the hell. So if you don't believe, you're going to burn in hell.
So you can believe in the truth, pray to the Most High 5 times a day, do everything that you're supposed to do as a prophet, a man of the Lord, but you have a wife that doesn't believe. That means you're going to go to hell and she's going to go to hell. Tell me that this IUIC is not a cult. Which hell is a fair tactic.
And it's the Most High that makes people that don't believe, the Most High put it in their head not to believe. Isaiah 6 and 9. There's some of them that's not going to believe because the Most High programmed them not to see it. And some the Most High open up their mind for them to see it. So this is clearly a false doctrine. A death, and is going to be flames and fire. That ultimate death. Listen, the last round. You die now. So, and by the way, they claim they're the only ones that got the truth. What was that? The deacon Asaph. He said, if you're part of the IUIC and you leave, but you keep teaching or you join another camp, he said you still lost, and you're gonna be blotted out of the book. He said, even if you keep teaching. Now, where's that in the scriptures? You left.
Yeah, that's what Deacon Asaph said. He said, if you're part of the IUIC and you leave the IUIC and you join another camp, you're still written out of the book. So I guess you have to be a member of the IUIC, a member in good standing in the IUIC, to be written in the book of life. So if you're a part of the ISUPK, the GMS, the Sakari, and then you got Sakari bigging up the IUIC, they're saying that you going into hell. Any of them groups. You just an Israelite on your own, you Phobia or whatever. You doing everything that the scriptures say. You're out there on the highways and the byways. You're doing the sit downs. You're breaking the scriptures down right. You're going into the Hebrew. You're calling on the name of Yahweh Shem Shai. But you used to be part of the IUIC and you left. So the angel said, okay. So the only ones that's not going to hell is the IUIC. The only members in the kingdom are going to be members. They're going to be wearing purple forever in the kingdom. See, the problem with a Negro is he doesn't analyze shit. He's not very analytical. It looks good. Oh, this is good. Yeah. So people are saying shalom to me, and Most High in Christ bless, and I get a purple garment. Watch what Yahweh Shem Shai going to do to this group. Scriptures say pride, in not so many words, pride cometh before a fall.
Because of certain reasons, and you kept teaching the same doctrine, you're still going to be written out of the book. So they're saying the only ones that's going to not be.
And he did, Deacon Asaph did say that. I don't know what the video is where he said that, but he did say that. If anybody can find it, send it to me.
Because they might come up and say, I never said that. Where's the receipts? I don't have the receipts. I remember seeing it. If I can find it, Most High lead me to it, I'll bring it up. See, and that's another thing that these guys do. They'll talk to certain guys and they'll secretly tape them. That's some old, I don't know if y'all ever saw the movie Battlefield Earth with the Cyclops. They defeated the Edomites. And they would get with each other and they would talk, ask questions, and they would film. The guy would film the guy saying what he had to say and hold it against him. Well, you just said, no, I never said that. Wait a minute, I got it on film. And that's what they do. That's a diabolical group of people. In hell are members of the IUIC. So the kingdom of heaven is going to be the IUIC on earth. When it says the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, it should say in Daniel 7, and you're gonna be in the kingdom wearing purple and gold, and it's gonna loop the song "Purple Rain" by Prince. Purple rain, purple rain. All I wanna do is see you dancing. I don't know the lyrics. That's forever. Forever. You're going to just walking around with purple. You're going to go in the room, it's purple. Everything is purple and gold. And you're going to hear in the background, purple rain, purple rain. Yo, this is a fucking coat. This is a coat, man. This is a coat. This is a coat. And when I say coat, I mean in a negative sense. Coat just means worship. Catholics, that's a coat. Baptist is a cult, Buddhists are a cult. Hebrew Israelites are cults, but because people don't, you hammerhead motherfuckers in America, your brain doesn't work. Your brain doesn't work good. IUIC shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even, and then the Lord got to come down in purple and gold, and He got to say, Most High and Christ bless. And like I said, you guys call yourself the leadership. I say you got a leader and the rest of y'all are followers. Bishop Kanai is a follower. Bishop Yawasop is a follower. They're all followers. There's only one leader. There's only one leader. And like David Koresh, he didn't have no leadership. There was only one leader, David Koresh. The Ansar Allah community Muslim, Dr. York. There's only one leader, and the rest of them were followers. Yeah, there's a movie that Mel Gibson, the racist ass Mel Gibson, put out, and I forget the name of the daggone movie. It had a lot to do with revenge. They got him for something, and he wound up getting at killing them. The whole group. It was an excellent movie. I forget the name of the movie. Somebody helped me out. And he killed everybody, including the leader, the head of this group. And I remember he caught one of them guys, and he said, "Who's the leader?" And the guy said, "Well, we have a group of leaders. We have a council." He said, No. If you remember the movie, he said, No. He said, he says all bullshit. He said, there's one guy. There's always one guy that leads. You might have like a little council and everything, but there's one guy that leads, or one leader. That's what I wanted to know. If anybody can help me, you can. And if you can see the movie, it was a great movie that Mel Gibson put together. He was a little bit older at that time. I forget the name of the movie. Matter of fact, you know me, brothers and sisters. Let me go see if I can get it up there. A list of Mel Gibson movies.
According to Wikipedia, Mel Columcille Gerard Gibson is an American actor and film director.
Okay, so now let me see here. A great director as well. I mean, they demonized him, but let me see. Oh boy. Wow. He did a lot of recent movies. It was 23, 24. The Boneyard. It got Fitty, Curtis Jackson. Let me see. Yeah, he was born in Poughkeepsie, New York. Peekskill, New York, rather. Upstate New York. Let me see. Just give me the list. I just asked for the list. Give me the list. Okay, boom. All Mel Gibson movies. 98. He did a lot of movies. Okay, bear with me for a minute. Give me a lot of bullshit here. Good, great movie. The Bounty. Yeah, he did Hamlet, another great movie. Yeah, acting chops. Just bear with me. I just want to. Another great movie. Ransom, another great movie. .187, you know what that means. That's criminal code, California criminal code for murder. Conspiracy, another good movie, another great movie, Conspiracy Theory. Is it Payback? I think it's Payback. I think Chris Christopherson, whatever his name is. Payback is 1999 action crime based on a novel following a portrayal played by Mel Gibson, a relentless pursuit of revenge and his rightful share of money after surviving a successful heist. I believe that's the movie, Payback. In the movie, Chris Christopherson was the head guy. He was the capo di tutti capo, and he got one of the cronies, and he said, "Who's the leader?" He said, "There's not a leader. There's a leaders." He said, "Nope." He said, "Nope. There's always one guy that leads the whole thing." Please forgive me for going off the beaten path. So let's come back into this. That's cultish activities. And you in sin. Well, the Apostle Paul's going to hell because he's in sin. Read Romans chapter 7. And wickedness, you done. You can't come back and think you going to be different in the new. You got another chance. No, you're done. Okay, so you have this sister, them Christians full of shit. Stop lying. Shake my effing head. All praises to the most high. All praises to the most high. IUIC. And let me let this play. Matter of fact, you know what? Okay, another chance. No, you're done. Shalom, family. I just want to say, something. My mommy just passed. So if she's part of it, well, she's wearing the purple. It says hashtag IUIC. So her mother just passed. So in her mind, she's thinking that her mother is now in hell. I'm so hurt, but you have all these so-called Christians, Christ. Oh, stop crying. They're going to a better place. Why the hell you ain't went? That is why in the hell is you still sitting on this earth where you sit there, say going to a better place. They're going to be with their daughter, etc., whoever died. And their family, they're going to all be together. Why the hell your ass won't go? Why?
Doesn't seem like IUIC understands the difference between the flesh and the spirit.
Why won't you go there? Why don't you kill yourself, I guess? See, she's all fucked up in the head. You can see her eyes. Let me pull that, but you can see them eyes rolling back and forth. Because she's picturing her mother in hell. Her mother, in the spiritual world, she's wondering what, there's a dark alley. She goes down it. She sees Satan. She says, oh my goodness, oh my Lord, oh Jesus, is that Satan? Where Jesus at? It gets hotter, then all of a sudden you look down, you see fire, and Satan pushes you in the fire. That's a Roman Catholic bullshit, man. Think about that, why you still here, why you ain't went yet. And if it was true, why everybody crying it's not with the Israelites? That is some crap. Man, that Jay got me so bad. Everybody stop crying, stop crying. Look, I know that, but damn, if we got better opinions while we still sitting there, all praises and the honor to Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai. This is the elder that put the video there. This is him talking. All right. So like I said, you can watch. Matter of fact, let me let him play. I'll let you listen.
Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Recha Ha Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you other fellow believers of this faith, you fellow believers, you supporters of this truth, even you few sisters, and shalom to the elect. So I want to touch on this video, which we know this is what IUIC teach, but I want to go back because this is proven. Even Bishop Nathaniel admitted that there's certain things along with the government they must comply with. So, this is why, the name is an issue, but they have rap songs about Bishop Nathaniel, as you heard in the beginning, if you can hear it. So you had this woman here who says her mother passed and she's in mourning and suffering, and they don't believe that anyone who dies, and if they are not in the Lord, okay, they're not going to come back. That's a lot to gravitate, but they don't believe that you're going to come back. You're going to wake up, you're going to be destroyed, and then you're going to burn forever in a lake of fire. The scriptures say
forever. Which is a Roman Catholic doctrine.
It's different forevers, okay? But I want to go into that because this also coincides.
Which makes you think that this guy sell out. I think he did. He sold out. Remember, Comfy was teaching the same. He was teaching the hell doctrine. Before Comfy, they weren't teaching the hell doctrine.
Besides with the Sakari, because they were talking about the wives, I believe I put that in there. that you must have a believing wife or a believing husband. We'll get to that too. And this is probably why Sakari, who's absolutely united with the IUIC, is
Well, my response to that, Sakari and united with IUIC, is how come two walk together except they agree that you all speak the same thing?
having a problem with Paul saying the things he said about the unbelieving wife and husband, because we'll get into that too, because he said, I say this, not the Lord. And so there's a whole lot of issues with that, when we're going to also show you an example of what Apostle Paul said is the same thing pretty much Yahushua said. So anyway, so we're going to expose these fraudsters with the scriptures and move forward in the doctrine. This woman is hurting. I don't know. I was going to get the scriptures. The scripture says all go to one place. You know what? Let me get that real quick. You can even get the book of Job, I believe the 3rd chapter. The wicked cease from trembling. They say that's just the grave, but when you go to what this scripture says, it'll prove it all.
My question is, if you go to hell, if you don't believe, and you wicked, what about these other nations? According to that, all Edomites will burn in hell. So how is Esau going to go into captivity? Or the other nations going into captivity? If you're of another nation, you don't believe in it. You believe in Allah, you believe in the white Jesus, you believe in whatever you ate. You don't believe in any power, any God. So according to that, all of y'all are going into slavery, not captivity. So how do you explain all those captivity? Oh no, it's just Israel. So you're going to have the members, is 3,000, 10,000 members, whatever, IUIC, going to be in the kingdom. And all GMS is going to burn in hell. ISUPK going to burn in hell. Sakari going to burn in hell. All these different groups are going to burn in hell. The Farrakhan going to burn. The NOI going to burn in hell. Everybody going to. The only people that's going to be on the kingdom, the 144,000 and the multitude in Revelation 7 and 9, they all going to be wearing. Well, it says they're going to be wearing white, not purple. This is complete madness. And if you stop to think, use your head for something other than a hat rack, you would start to see the holes in this thing. And these people in the IUIC, and I don't have proof on it, but I'm almost positive they say, look, don't watch any of them other camp videos. That's what Comfy told them demons. Don't watch any of the GMS or any of the other videos, because you may start to think. Guarantee they ain't watching our videos. You know? And there's a reason why we listen to his
We know he ain't. He's completely zombified, and she think about her mother. Oh, my dear old mother. She burned in hell because you're following a cult. What I say? A demonic cult. Anyway, let me go into the precepts. Let me answer this brethren's question. Let me see. So let me put in the word hell. Nowhere in the Old Testament does it describe hell. 54 times in 54 verses. First time it's hell is mentioned. Deuteronomy 32 and 22. For a fire is kindled in my anger and shall burn unto the lower part. That's hell, brother. The lower parts in the middle of the earth is hell. And shall consume the earth with an increase and set on fire the foundation of the mountains. Why I say mountains? It's talking about volcanoes. What's the whole science behind a volcano? The core of the earth is hot. It's like a sun in the middle of the earth. And every time you get an eruption, it comes from a mountain that has an eruption is called a volcano. It's nothing but a mountain that it's on fire. 2 Samuel 22 verse 6.
The sorrows of hell compassed me about. The snares of death prevented me. This is a King David fighting. And the hell represents he was fighting against the Philistines. And he was saying that I can die at any minute. You know, Gad would say it's a good day to die. Because they would get ready. When Gad would go out to war against Esau, they would say it's a good day to die. Meaning they went in the spirit that I'm going to die. So it's like, I don't give a shit. Because I'm going to die anyway. But a lot of times they wouldn't die and they would come back. Then they would go out to war again and they would say it's a good day to die. They would get their mind straight that I can die. Well, what if you die? Well, I already got it out the way. I may die. It is a good day to die. Job 11:8. It is as high as heaven, and canst thou do? What canst thou do? Deeper than hell, what canst thou know? So let me click on the word hell. Word there, if you know the Hebrew, that's why you got to know the Hebrew. Another reason why the IUIC goes off on scriptures, because they don't go into the root words. They don't say, well, let me look up the Hebrew word and let me look up the Greek word. So the word there is sha'awal, or sheol. They would say sheol. It means what? Grave. Hell. What does hell mean? Hell means grave or pit. Not talking about a place that you burn forever. Sheol, underworld, grave, hell, pit. The underworld, Sheol, the Old Testament designation for the abode of the dead. Right. You put people, the same applies today. Somebody dies, you put him in a hole. Place of no return. Right. That body's not going to come back unless it's resurrected without praise of God, because they're dead. Their spirit is separated from their body. Wicked sent there for punishment. This doesn't make sense. Righteous not abandoned to it, of the place of exile, of extreme degradation and sin. Right, the wages of sin is death. So what does hell mean? It simply means the grave, a pit. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all nations that forget the Most High. Meaning they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be put under order. Psalm 16:10. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer the Holy One to see corruption. Now this is, I believe this is Acts 2:27. I mean, Peter quotes Psalms 16:10. The quote is in the book of Acts 2:27, because the Lord wasn't going to be in hell, and the word hell was the pit. What does it mean that he was in hell? That our Lord was in hell? That means he was in the grave. He was in the sepulcher for 3 days and 3 nights. Sorrows of hell compass me. We read that. Psalm 55:15. Let death seize upon me, and let them go down quick into, the word there should be pit or the grave. For wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. For great is the mercy toward me, and thou hast delivered my soul from the lowest hell. Oh, so you can go to hell. So there's a way you can go to hell, but you can work your way back out of hell. Where have you ever met somebody that said, I was in hell for 10 years, and the Most High had mercy on me and brought me back? Motherfucker looking like Fireman Bill. Well, let me tell you something. That's him. He's been in hell. Sorrows and death compass me about. Hell. If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there.
And if I make my bed in hell, meaning the grave, behold, thou art there. So the Most High is down there in hell with you, watching you, laughing at you. It says, I believe it's Revelation 14, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go check. This is why you need teachers. You need real teachers. And the top teachers on the planet Earth when it comes to these subjects are the men of GMS. And this is back to the basics, to us. Let me see, Revelation 14. Okay. Let me do this. Okay, it's here 9 times. It says presence of the angels. Give me a second here. Okay, I think I found it. Revelation 14:10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So now that's supposed to be hell, right? So that means they're going to have bleachers in hell, and you're going to have your Yahushua sitting there and all the innumerable amount of angels sitting there eating popcorn and watching you burn for trillions of years. Talking about Babylon the Great, the U.S., which you got a lot of Edomites that are now seeing it. They said, I don't know, Babylon got to be America. I did a video on that. So now let me come back over here. Oh, Isaiah 14:9. Hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kingdoms of the nations. That's these other nations around the world seeing that this man's the devil. Now, when you read it in the NLT, I'll read in the NLT. In the place of the dead, there is excitement over your arrival, over the downfall of this man. The nations see that you're going down, so they're going to help you, bring you down. The spirits of world leaders and mighty kings long dead stand up to see you, to see your downfall. So that's reincarnation. So these current leaders that you see, they were here in the past, getting their asses kicked by Esau. So they're coming back to get you. That's also in Habakkuk 2. That's in a lot of places in the scriptures. The nations fleeing this place because it's going down. Isaiah 13. What is that? Matthew 12. Where it says the men of Nineveh shall condemn this place. The queen of the south shall condemn this place. That's reincarnation. So all the people that you read about in the past, they're back here. Everything's reincarnated.
So how in the hell can you go into hell if everything's reincarnated? Okay, so this is Matthew 5:22. Anytime you come across the word hell, it represents the grave. Except for Luke 17. Matter of fact, let me get that. I mean Luke 16, I'm sorry. And in hell he lifted up his eyes. This right here is a parable. And like I said, all you got to do is look at all these precepts, all the times the word hell is mentioned. It's 54 times and 54 verses in the Old and New Testament. And the Old Testament, the word there will be Sha'awal or Sheol. And in the Greek, the word there would be, it would either be Hades or Hades or Gehenna. And Gehenna was a garbage dump formerly known as the Valley of Hinnom. And there's information like when Yahushua was saying where the worm dieth not and the fire is not quenched, he was talking about Babylon being on fire, but he was comparing it to the Valley of Hinnom or Gehenna. Gehenna is a matter of fact, let me just go on into it, because a lot of y'all don't like to read and research. So no, there's no hell. There's no such thing as hell, like a burning place where your soul burns in forever. If you're teaching that, then you're a false prophets, false teachers. Yahushua was comparing this place, Babylon the Great on fire, to Gehenna or the Valley of Hinnom. Now what happened was the fire was never put out. That's why it says where the fire is not quenched and the worm dieth not. Now this was something that even Apostle Ramlab read this one. He didn't give me the information, but he read it. When you go into Gehenna, there's this one guy that said that, well, Gehenna, the fire never went out, so it never was quenched, and the worm dieth not. Now the perimeter of Gehenna, you had worm, because what did you have there? When you threw dead animals in there, some of the parts fell out kind of halfway out of the fire, then it didn't get fully burnt, and then that's where the worms come out. You know, your body turns into worms. When you're in the grave, your body, what happens is your immune system shuts off. When you die, your immune system shuts off. The only thing that's living is the worms and the parasites. That's why you don't rot. Hey, there's a disease called rotten flesh flesh eating disease. What it is those parasites eating you alive, and the immune system is not working. You got to keep your immune system up. You got to lengthen your telomeres. So hell is Gehenna, and pur is fire. So let's look up the word. I'm going to show you. Gehenna. Hell is a place of future punishment called Gehenna or Gehenna fire. This was originally the Valley of Hinnom, south of Jerusalem, where the filth and dead animals of the city were cast. That's why you had worms, because part of a cow's leg or a goat's leg would be outside of the fire, and worms would eat it up. It says city were cast out and burned, And then it says they're telling you what it means. Gehenna just is the valley of Hinnom. Hinnom. That's what it is. The valley of Hinnom, where you dump your garbage, and there was a constant fire that went out. You know, you ate certain things. You had the bone of a dead animal that you ate, the flesh, and you take the bones and part of the flesh and you throw it in the fire. And then you had Israelites casting their children in the fire to appease Molech. South of Jerusalem, filth and rot and casting. He said a fit symbol of the wicked and their future destruction. Which that they're trying to say that. See, that's talking about hell. No, the blue letter is telling you what it means. That word hell in the New Testament is either Hades, which means the grave, or Gehenna, which means the valley of Hinnom, where you put dead animals and garbage in, and it kept burning. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next one. Shalom.